Today, we're going to get into a deeper understanding of narcissists and empaths and how both of these forms of personalities, traits of personalities, are born out of very, very similar trauma. Before starting today's training, I just want to share something that happened recently, by which I mean yesterday and today, which is that just a realization that a lot of times in our lives, we hold ourselves back. A lot of times we deny ourselves the truth. We are dishonest with ourselves. And you might be wondering, about what? What do we lie to ourselves about? We lie to ourselves about why we are stuck in life. We lie to ourselves about how things aren't that bad, about how our fears aren't really stopping us, about how we really can't do anything about it. And the truth is that the more we lie to ourselves, the more it becomes this protective shield that literally separates us from our dream life. And so I want to just invite you today to really wonder, where in your life are you denying yourself the truth? Where are you being dishonest with yourself? Is there something in your life that you know you need to change? You know that this is a pattern I need to break, and I know that it's not healthy for me, yet I keep doing it. And I keep telling myself these stories about, oh, change is impossible for me, or I don't have the money, I don't have the time. We are so quick to buy into our stories of why it's not possible for us. And let me tell you this one thing about beliefs. I will be doing another training on beliefs. And before I do that, let me just say today that our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, create a bullshit story in our minds about why something is not possible for us, why change is not possible for us. Before I record that training, I just want to invite you to, until then, wonder. Where are you bullshitting with yourself? Where are you not honoring yourself with the truth? Where in your life do you know that I have the capacity to expand more? I have the ability to do so much more, to have a better relationship, to have better finances, a dream life, or whatever it is. And why are you not doing it? Why do you not have it in your life yet? What is the story you have sold yourself on? And with that, let's start today's training, which is on narcissists and empaths. Let's first understand this really interesting birth of narcissists and empaths. This is a baby who was not a narcissist, a little baby who had parents who were not emotionally available, who did not meet the baby's needs, who did not make the baby feel seen, heard, understood, like they mattered, like they were good enough. And these parents had no idea that they were having this impact on their baby. See, the one thing I want to really pin down about childhood trauma is that childhood trauma is literally, we don't understand these concepts so that we can go out into the world and go to our parents and be like, it was all your fault. We are not understanding these principles to feel angry and betrayed by our guardians. We are understanding these patterns within ourselves to liberate ourselves from what has unconsciously held us back, from what has unconsciously created this false perception of why life is terrible, or why people are horrible, or why everyone sucks, or why whatever. And so I really want to get this point across that our parents, whoever you are, your parents, my parents, everybody's parents, were doing their best. And in their humanness, they got knocked unconscious, as we all do. I'm sure that if you recall right now, you can come up with multiple instances in your life where you were unkind, where you were not graceful, where you did something to hurt somebody without meaning to, but simply because you fell unconscious. And how would you feel if people held you accountable for that every single freaking day? It wouldn't be a great feeling. This part has understanding our traumas and patterns comes with two things. A, understanding why we do the things we do, and B, forgiving ourselves and those who unconsciously hurt us. And I remember, I don't know who said this, there was a really great teacher who said this. Sometimes forgiveness is about recognizing that there is nothing to forgive. That whatever they did was out of their unconsciousness. That nobody ever looks at you with the intention to willfully hurt you. People do not want to willfully hurt you. Anyone who hurts you is hurting themselves. And only a hurt person will go on and extend that hurt to you in their own unconsciousness. And that's not to say that it is this justification for people's wrongdoings or we're making up excuses for other people. Rather, just that the more we harbor that resentment, that anger, that betrayal, that hurt, the more we harm our own soul, our own selves. And so forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you clearing your own energy field. It's about you saying yes to yourself for the first time in your life. It's about you saying no to carrying those same generational trauma patterns in the future. Because you don't deserve that. Your kids don't deserve that. And as you do, you develop a compassion for people who have hurt you. You begin to see the humanness in them. You begin to realize that, God, were they hurting? That this baby is constantly looking for its parents' approval, that, hey, see me, love me, validate me, hello, can anyone hear me? And it's feeling unseen, unheard, and so sad, so heartbroken. And it cares to get the love, it cares to get the validation, and it cares. But then when that baby doesn't get it the way the baby wants to receive it, turns into this adult who says things like, I don't care, I'm better than you, I don't care, I don't want love, I'm not even hurt, it doesn't affect me, I don't care about anyone, I'm a lone wolf. And that's how a narcissist is born. Through a baby who was unloved and misunderstood and unseen, who felt these things. And the pain of rejection from feeling those things was so deep that the baby grew into an adult who wore these glasses of tainted perception that, oh, a facade, a mask, that I don't care. When deep in their heart, their mind, the thought is that I can't show my truth. When deep in their mind, they feel like I'm not worthy. No one would ever want to stick around. And so it's easier to pretend like you don't care than accept that nobody wants to be around me. And that is a lie narcissists tell themselves because they're scared of rejection. They're scared, oh my God, what if someone wouldn't want to be around me? What if they don't love me? What if they get to know who I am? Because a baby is so authentic, right? When they were in their authenticity and they weren't loved, they developed the belief that in my authenticity, I cannot be loved. And that's a story they create. It's not the truth. It's not the truth because these parents did not make the baby feel that way on purpose. And even if they did, does not mean that it was the baby's fault. Whatever people project on you, however they hurt you, is all about them. It is not about you. An empath, on the other hand, is this little kid who's like, see me, love me, validate me, hello, can anyone hear me? And they're not heard, they're not seen, they don't feel understood. And so they grow up as this adult who goes like, oh, I'll help you, I'll fix this, I'll heal you, you matter. And it's all about the other. How can I serve you? How can I make you feel like this? How can I do this for you? But the thought deep in their mind is that I don't matter. I'm not worthy. And they believe that so deeply, which is why they go overboard in helping people, in showing up for people, because that is their way of gaining love, gaining acceptance, because they believe that I need to do something extraordinary to earn love. Because in my authenticity, I wasn't loved, I wasn't seen. And I want to share a quick story over here about myself. As someone who grew up as an empath, a people pleaser, my parents, I felt when I was a kid, I felt like I didn't matter, and I felt like they didn't care about me, and I felt like I'm not loved, I'm not worthy. I had all these feelings build up. And when we go into childhood trauma, a lot of times the idea becomes that, oh, we're villainizing our parents, when that is not true. You know why I felt that way? Because I had a sister who was, since she was born, she had a heart condition, holes in her heart. She didn't have pulmonary arteries. It was a 1 in a million case. So my parents had to have these hospital runs every single day. And then I had a little brother, so he was a baby, and she had to go to the hospital, go to another country for her surgeries. And there was so much happening that there wasn't just, my parents had so much on their plate. And as an adult, of course, I understand that, and I see that, and I get it. And I needed that experience as well to get me to where I am. And at the same time, as a kid, my experience was that they're not around because they don't love me, which is not true. The reason I'm telling you this is because our inner child's feelings are not logical. You don't have to be logical with it. All the inner child wants is for you to be present with it, for you to acknowledge those feelings, for you to be like, hey, you feel this way. Let it out. Instead of being like, you shouldn't feel this way, it's wrong to feel this way, why do you feel this way, that's stupid. That's the mind that can be unkind. That's how a narcissist is born. That's how an empath is born. Same trauma, different projections of it. The narcissist grows up to have this external, superficial outlook wherein they're like, oh, I will take because I never received. And even though they take so much, they feel so empty. I remember someone in my life who I was deeply close to, who was a narcissist. One time I was talking to them. It was just the two of us, and they said this thing to me. They were like, I just don't think I deserve happiness in life. I just don't think that I deserve joy. And I've never been able to admit that to anyone. And if you met this person, if you knew them in any public setting or even as a social setting, you would say that they are the most confident person to exist. They had this grandiosity about themselves. They were charming. They were so incredible that you would fall for them. You would admire them. You'd be like, wow, you were an incredible person. And that's what that incredible person felt deep inside. The truth is that most of us are so afraid of being vulnerable with ourselves and with other people that we don't let that truth come out. Shortly after that truth came out, that person decided that they looked at all the changes I was making in my life and they were like, you know what? I think I need to heal too. And this person was someone who used to tell me that all the stuff you're doing, it's cute, but it doesn't work. Tony Robbins, that guy's a scam. I remember I was watching my first Tony Robbins video ever. We were sitting together and they looked at my laptop and they were like, who the hell are you listening to? Why are you listening to this guy? All he says is talk BS. 6 months later, this person goes like, so Anna, can you tell me more about healing? How do I heal? They started yoga, meditation, therapy, and you name it. And mashallah, they're doing really well in their life now. My purpose is that when we are able to be vulnerable with ourselves and honest with ourselves, then we can heal no matter what label you have given yourself. Oh, I'm a narcissist, or I'm an empath, or I'm a this, I'm a that. They're all trauma responses. They are all trauma responses. It is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. to an abnormal experience. The survival brain kicks in. It was not your fault. Whatever label you've given yourself, you have to recognize that it was not your fault. And if it was not your fault, then okay, it happened. Yet it is your responsibility to change. The thing is about the narcissist and empath dynamic is that because narcissists are all about taking and empaths are all about giving, narcissists are all about taking. They become a magnet for one another. An empath will see a narcissist and feel like, I need to save this person and I will be the savior. Call me, I don't know, a Superman. Very unsavior-like name, but you get the point. I will be the savior to the narcissist. And the narcissist is like, ooh, this is one person I'm going to take for them. They will bend like spaghetti for me. They will keep giving to me because I will keep taking from them. And they will manipulate the empath. They will control the empath. And the empath will keep seeing the good in the narcissist. Because the thing about empaths is that they are almost delusional sometimes about A, their own sense of self-worth, and B, other people's intentions. People will use them, people will not treat them well, and they will be like, oh, but I'm a nice person, so I'm gonna still keep giving. They have no sense of boundaries, which is why narcissists are like, heck, this person has no boundaries, I will violate it. All of this happens unconsciously. The core wounds for both narcissists and empaths are abandonment and worthiness. Both felt abandoned in their childhood. Both felt like they were not worthy. And the core beliefs they both develop is that I don't deserve love. I can't be loved. I am not good enough. And I'm insecure. They're both insecure. An empath feels like they need to prove their worth to people by giving. A narcissist feels like, well, I just need to superficially fill this void in my heart by taking from people. And they have no sense of accountability, responsibility, none of that. It's almost like that part of their brain is shut off because they cannot empathize with another person. They feel like the world genuinely revolves around me. But deep in their heart, they're insecure as heck. They feel like, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it. And that's why they put up this whole show. It's like a show. A narcissist is like a charming show of a person who will try to look like they're the most perfect human being you have ever met. The most incredible life, the most incredible job. They will really like superficially curate their life to fill that void. But if they are honest with themselves, they know that they believe that they cannot be loved, and that's why they keep taking, because they don't want the mask to come off. They're both trauma responses, and it is all an illusion. It is all an illusion. The mask of the narcissist, it may not look like they feel that way on the inside, but they do. They don't love themselves. They really don't love themselves. And empaths, those kind-looking, the world is so beautiful and it's sunshines and rainbows and I'm here to heal everyone. They don't love themselves either. And they act like I'm the nicest person ever so that they can feel safe within themselves because they don't know how to. So they need to manipulate circumstances to feel safe by being nice. Narcissist will use these core wounds and core beliefs to take from others, and the empath will do it to give to others. And both of them do it so that they can feel worthy. And guess what? It does not help. They do not feel worthy. An empath, no matter how much the empath gives, does not feel worthy. A narcissist, no matter how much they take, do not feel worthy. Its worthiness does not come from the outside. And they may know this logically and they fail to believe it because it's so hard to embody it. What do you mean it doesn't come from the outside? I thought I had to get 5 more degrees and help 100 more people to feel worthy. It doesn't come from the outside. The moment you begin to feel worthy within yourself for just existing, not to say that you're perfect, rather that you are a spiritual being having a human experience created by this beautiful creator, and just because of that, you are worthy. Let's talk about some signs of narcissists, because I know that myself included, the old version of me, I used to get caught up with narcissists a lot. It was like I was honey for honey if freaking narcissists were bees. Or narcissists will clearly lack empathy. And you can't tell, by the way, at first. You might think that, oh, such a sweet person. They lack empathy. They will do things that will show you that, wow, this person is apathetic. Wow, this person is cold. And as an empath or a people pleaser, you might have this belief that, oh, they don't mean it, or you might try to justify their lack of empathy in so many ways. Don't. Call it for what it is. Second is they will be entitled. They will feel like they're entitled to more respect, more whatever they want, they're entitled to it. However they want to be treated, they're entitled to it. They're entitled to respect, they're entitled to love, they're entitled to everything because, oh, it's their world and we're all living in it. It's not. Third, they're grandiose. They have this whole facade going on about them. They're superficial as heck. A narcissist will never have a deep conversation with you. A narcissist will never truly be vulnerable. And let me also tell you this, even when they are vulnerable with you, it is a tactic. Even their vulnerability is like a tactic to sort of gain your trust. They might be vulnerable with you in the beginning to just lure you in. Once you're in there, watch them run away from honesty. Watch them run away from the truth. Watch them try to manipulate and control and gaslight you into believing that, oh, you're crazy. If someone ever makes you feel like you are crazy for feeling the things you do and refuses to take accountability, refuses to take responsibility for how they created that unsafe space for you, chances are that person's a narcissist, ladies and gentlemen. Mic drop. Thank God that wasn't a real mic. But anyways, point is that you want to be with a partner who can honor your feelings, even if you're being unreasonable. I'm not saying that you should be unreasonable, but I will say this, that your feelings are coming up because they're somewhere in there. Because something happened. It's like a signal of something. It's like if my arm broke and it was hurting and someone comes in and says that, like, paint this for a picture, right? We're walking down the road, me and a narcissist, okay? And this is for you to get a perspective of an emotional wound, an emotional form of abuse, manipulation, gaslighting. Although it is very likely that a narcissist could very well do this in a physical abuse setting as well. Let me paint this picture for you. So I'm walking down the street with a narcissist, right? And we get into like a little disagreement and they push me. I fall down, I break my arm, and it starts to hurt. And the narcissist goes, "You made me push you because you disagreed with me." No accountability on this person. No sense of responsibility. Everything is, you made me do this and you made me do that. The moment you meet somebody who's very, you made me do this, you made me do this to you, say this to you, hit you, hurt you, you did this, that's why I did that. The moment you see that shit, ladies and gentlemen, walk away. Like literally, open the door, leave. Because you are not a rehab center for narcissists or emotionally unavailable people. You are not a rehab center. That is their journey. You can honor them. The most you can do is say the truth to them like it is. That, hey, you know what? I believe that there are things that you need to heal from. There are things that you are struggling with, and that is impacting me. And so I'm going to walk away from your life. And I pray that you find the healing that you very well need. I remember I accidentally showed somebody who was a narcissist in my life, who had emotionally really traumatized me at that point. And we were sitting together this one time and I was writing on my notes app I was writing this note because I've always been a very write my feelings out kind of person, and I was writing like how I felt, and it was this letter that I was never going to send to them. I just wanted to write it to sort of get it off my chest. And I remember at the end of the letter, I wrote that I can't believe I'm actually saying this to you. But the truth is that I really pray that you find the healing that you're looking for and that you very, very much need. Because the truth is that I know that you and I'm probably not going to see you again, but you will hurt more people in your life if you continue this way. So I really hope before you ruin someone else's life, you go and heal yourself. And I wrote this down, and I wasn't going to show it to them. I wasn't going to send it to them. And, we were just talking normally, and they saw me on my phone, and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm just writing. And I want to read. And I was like, no, I don't want you to read. And one thing led to another. They took my phone, curious, and started to read, and just left the room once they read it. And they were like, wow. Later when we talked, they were like, I had no idea you felt that way, and you think I traumatized you, and you think that I did this and I did that. I was like, I don't think that's my experience. And they refused to take accountability in that moment, and I felt terrible because how could I hurt somebody's feelings? But they needed that, and I needed that. Because a few months later, they did go on and find healing in their life, create healing in their life. Because the more we stay silent, the more we sort of enable abuse. Even staying silent with a narcissist, not standing up to them, is a disservice to them and to you. That was not a mic drop. But it is a disservice. And you are not doing anybody a favor by thinking that I'm being this good person because I'm not saying anything. No, you're being a coward. I know that it's hard to stand up to people like that. And I also know how important it is, because after that, I began to learn to stand up to such people in my life. I wasn't perfect at it at first, and I still learned. But you gotta start somewhere. Another few signs of a narcissist is that they have emotional dysregulation. One moment, they're gonna have emotional highs and lows. They're gonna treat you so well and make you feel like you're the most incredible person in the world. And then they're gonna pull away and make you feel like crap. Hot and cold. That's a narcissist. They will treat you like shit, then they will come to you and give you a hug and be like, oh, but why are you crying? All I did was yell at you. All I did was say something incredibly hurtful. Get over it. Here, have some ice cream. That's a narcissist. That's someone who struggles with emotional regulation. They are hypersensitive to criticism. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. You cannot tell a narcissist that, hey, this is something you need to work on, because they will be like, F you and F that and F this. I am perfect. How dare you think I need to work on myself. They will shut off completely, and they will say 50 more mean things to you, especially about things that you probably told them in confidence. The idea here is why I'm sharing this with you is because I know that a lot of women, and perhaps a lot of men as well, stay in these relationships with narcissists, hoping that they change and they can change this person and they can heal them, they can fix them, they can do whatever, but that maybe I'm the exception to the rule. Maybe I am where it all changes. I'm here to tell you that that is a BS story you're telling yourself because you are too afraid to walk away, because you are so traumatized that you are now addicted to the pain, you are addicted to the hot and the cold, and you're so scared that what is going to happen if I walk away? What if tomorrow I meet another person who is worse than this? It's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. That's what it is. And if you're not going to be honest with yourself, I will be honest with you, because I honor you and I respect you. And also because I have been there. Nobody told me that what I was going through was a narcissistic abuse. Nobody told me who a narcissist was. I had to search on Google, hey, what is a narcissist? What are they like? Read all this information and be like, what? That applies to my situation. And I realized that, wow, there were so many people who were narcissists in my life before, and I never saw it. I experienced it as reality. I believed that that's just how people are. That's just how situations are. A narcissist believes their reality, but an empath also believes their reality. They both buy into this illusion of reality, where the narcissist will do whatever they need to do to meet their own needs, hurt you, harm you, abuse you, just to make you feel small, make you feel like you're not worth crap, make you feel like you're here and they're here. All to feel safe within themselves, because they have no sense of self-worth. They're so goddamn insecure. But the empath is no better either. They will let people step over them. They will become the rug. They'll be like, walk all over me. Come on. Walk twice, walk thrice. Do it, please. I will still be here when you need me. Because the empath doesn't know how to be safe within themselves. So walk away. Drop your halo. Drop the idea that, oh, I'm being such a good person by staying in this abusive, toxic thing. Whether it's a professional dynamic, whether it's a relationship dynamic, an intimate dynamic, a friendship dynamic, whatever it is, recognize it, learn to become aware of it, see reality for what it is, not what your mind makes it to be, and honor yourself and take back your power. We are all unlimited beings. We have all been given this incredible ability to be expansive, to create, to serve, to give, to breathe life, to breathe light into life, to breathe love into life. And we shrink ourselves because we allow these people to drain our energy centers. So we shrink ourselves and we shrink our gifts and we stop serving. We stop believing in our vision and our dreams. We stop looking for that dream. We start conforming and we start thinking that, hey, that's just life. I remember, and this is going to be the last story before we end today. I met somebody, I think a year and a half ago. No, actually, it was early 2022, Jan 2022, and I had this whiteboard in my room, and it had all these questions I had written for myself, that early 2023, exactly, so a year ago. And these questions were about how I wanted my year to be like. So it was like, who do I want to be this year? And all these like very in-depth questions about just my own self for me to bring out more of myself to the surface. And this person, they were sitting on the couch and they looked at them and they were like, why would you even want to be excited about life? What's exciting about life? Why would you look forward to a year so much that you're doing all this work? And it made me realize that most people see life that way, that there's nothing to be excited about. They have lived in that dullness and that darkness for so long that they forget that there is light outside. I am here to tell you that there is so much light outside that you couldn't possibly imagine. Lead with your heart. Lead with your soul, not your mind. The mind will convince you that everything is terrible, but your heart will never lie to you. Your soul will never lie to you. Ask your soul today, what is the truth? And honor your truth. Thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. And like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. It's annap.co.